listening to the man.
Trip today, back up in the river here, just coming around Long Nose Point, and we're heading down here into under the Iron Cove Bridge down to Bridal Island is our destination today.
They can't hear our mother cry, no, they can't feel her pain. No, no,
I think it's very positive in terms of what Mark Spinks and the Aboriginal Men have put together. I mean, over 100 people, both young and old Aboriginal men, have come here to Rhode Island through the Tribal Warrior and their associated boat as well, to get them out there and talk about men's issues. And men's issues being helped today. I mean, we touched on a couple of very key important issues, which was your diabetes and your prostate cancer. So it's probably that song in the background is pretty good in that. It's get up, stand up, and I mean it's knowing that these problems are out there, and we've got to get up and face our fears and let them know that, mate, this is what happens if you don't go in and get your health checks, whether you're a young Aboriginal kid or a grown-up man.
It's good to get the community together and to talk about issues like the health, and I found that very challenging because I myself wasn't aware of all these things, and most of the people of shame, I noticed that they don't go and see doctors because they're too embarrassed to show and expose their body or speak to them about their prostate cancer, or they could have prostate cancer.
you might even hear. No, 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 no. I kiss the land, I kiss her cheek, and nestle at her breast. Then I hear my mother speak. She says we're one, you and I. No, 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 no,
On behalf of the Tribal Warrior, I'd like to make everyone feel welcome. We're going to have a good day today. It's a good opportunity for us to network and look at the issues around health that we probably don't get a chance to do. But this is a more influential way we can do it. We can talk to each other the way we talk to each other, instead of going to an environment where it's hard to talk about some of the issues, whether they're prostate or heart or other things.
Hi, my name's David Lehar. Here today on an island in Sydney Harbour. It's a combination of services and men's groups who've come together now for men's health. There's people here from representing Medicare, the Aboriginal Medical Service, the Aboriginal Men's Group, the Gamarada Men's Group. So yeah, we're all here in regards to men's health. The other night I was at a program on SBS. They were filming a show called Inside, and it was on the intervention in Northern Territory. And the problem that's happening there is, the government sending in police and that into these Aboriginal communities. And what I've noticed in this show, they were saying that the problem lies with the men being the offenders, and men being the reason for why these police need to be into control. So a part of what we're doing here today is taking that control ourselves So yeah, I'm here in support of that, and I think you know, when the government wants good results from black peoples in their communities, they don't have. There's other ways to get the results than sending in police forces and armies, and an option is to empower men to be able to deal with the issues themselves.
If we don't do these tests, and I don't believe that that's necessarily the reason why we test for prostate cancer now, but we're seeing it in the press all the time that Patrick Swayze, one of the greatest dancers out of Hollywood, has got cancer, and I think it's pancreatic cancer. But there's tests for that. The prostate test, you know, there's tests for that, and we're going to talk about that today, and that's why we're doing this, because, you know, it's time's up for us to continually every week go to funerals. You know, just after Christmas, I think there was 2 or 3 funerals every week. And Shane was mentioning that to me some months ago. And that's why we're doing this day.
One of the most important things about this is we be honest with each other, or with ourselves most importantly, and we look at the issues, because there's a couple of younger fellas at the back there that are on here. We need them to know that they can do something about it now. And I think if we're honest with it, with ourselves and with the group here, it's going to make a difference for them. Like you can say to your young bloke, oh, look, you stay away from drinking, it's going to muck you up, you just keep focusing on training. But they see you make the example of you're making the mistakes too, it's so hard. But with the influences of a group of proud men, we can make something more of an advantage. I think we can take advantage of that opportunity. From wherever you're from, it's really important here that we acknowledge you. From Lapa, Mount Druitt, Northwest, Campbelltown, wherever you're from, it's really important that as a group of men, we look at not just this one time that we're there, that we start to look at it as we go back to our own communities. So as we go back, let's talk about these issues. Heart disease. You know, I'm in the category of heart disease. You put on a bit of weight, smoke cigarettes, you do less, and heart disease gets you. You've got to do a lot more to try and combat it after it. Diabetes. We know, and I was talking to one of the blokes on the other boat coming out, he didn't even know that the average Aboriginal male, their lifespan is 45 years old. In the wider community, we know it's a lot older. Now, if you've got an idea and you've got a workshop that you think might help someone, let's set up in a place. And if you're going to identify yourself now, and let's point you to that direction so that you can go and talk about that area, but you might want to look at the other things that we can do. The breathing thing, you might go to church. Dad, if I didn't mention, Dad would have knocked me out. You might go and do training, preaching ads here. You might be doing things around lifestyle. So I'll shut up now, but let's look at those issues now. Let's talk about other ways that we can work together. I'm trying to get a couple of other fellas as fat as me that will go and do walking in the morning. That sort of simple strategy. It's practical. Let's make it happen.
We're going to do get into a circle, get some ideas off you on why our blokes won't have the tests, how we can combat that. We need something positive to come out of this. We're going to send a report to health. We're going to send a report to the minister. We're going to send a report to the local member. They will all know that over 100 men stood on Rhode Island and said, we care, we give a stuff, and we want to do something about our health.
Why is it, my brothers? We know how much drugs and alcohol has killed our people. Why is it we continue? Can I just see a show of hands of those who believe that we need change out there in our communities?